Wednesday, 20th September 2023. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, Port Harcourt residents ask Rivers Police CP to name officer who killed father of three, Alafaro Peterside. Police kill members of gang wanted for murder of Aoda DPO. Ogun State government to enact law pronouncing death penalty on cultists. Civil society calls for suspension of recruitment into Rivers State Civil Service. U.S. court orders release of President Tinubu's academic records. Heavy security as Kano Governorship Election Tribunal set to deliver judgment. On the foreign scene, Kenya's anti-gay bill proposes 50-year jail term. I am Constance Mega with the news. Some residents of Rivers State are calling on the Commissioner of Police, Nwonyi Emeka, to name and show the photo of the dismissed police officer who shot and killed the father of three, Alafaro Peterside. The residents who called in on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire show say ensuring transparency and accountability in issues like this will help build trust between the police force and the communities they serve.
The dismissed police, they should please show his face. So when we see this man, we know the man is dismissed. Not that they will transfer the man to another place. Let them show the man picture. Let us know the man. That this guy is dismissed from police. So when we see them on the road, we will be able to know.
How can you withhold the name of a man who killed somebody? Are you trying to protect or defend the image of police? We should know him so that when we see him standing on the road tomorrow, we could be able to police put more effort in copying other crimes.
Well, recall that the late Mr. Peterside was shot to death by a police officer on the 14th of August in front of his wife and three children at a popular bar along Stadium Road, Elekahia in Port Harcourt. Well, yesterday, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police said the police officer who shot and killed the man has been dismissed. But CP Emeka, who did not give the name of this dismissed officer, also said the matter has been charged to court.
The suspect, who happens to be a police officer, has been dismissed and case charged to court. That is the development.
In the same vein, CP Emeka said the police have killed four members of the wanted gang led by David Okpara, popularly known as Tubaba, and arrested three others, where Tubaba is the leader of the cult group that allegedly killed the DPO of Aoda, SP Bako Angbashim. Where CP Emeka said the command personnel raided the hoodlums camp in Odemude community of Aoda East local government area.
David Okpara, aka Tubaba, who led his notorious gang to brutally murder SP Bako and Bashim, were in their hideout in Odumude Forest. Following the information, a combined team of Command Tactical Operatives and Area Command Ahuda stormed the forest in the effort to arrest the notorious hoodlums and possibly recover the corpse of the late officer. Immediately engaged operatives on fierce gun battle. The four notorious suspected criminals who sustained serious injuries were rushed to UPTH for medical attention, but were confirmed dead by the doctor on duty.
Correspondent Emeko Tuka reports that the Commissioner of Police, Emeka Nwonyi, also paraded 7 police officers for allegedly extorting money from a blogger in Port Harcourt. He said an investigation is ongoing to ensure justice is served.
Standing here are policemen alleged by one TikToker recently that went viral of the activities of policemen that were unprofessional in their conduct. And to prove to you, like I've always said, that crime and criminality knows no bound. Whether you are a civilian or you are a policeman, if you do the crime, you will do the sanction. To that effect, investigation is ongoing on the allegation against them. We are not ready to cover anybody.
Meanwhile, residents of Port Harcourt have expressed their concern over the high number of guns in the hands of politicians. It followed the directive of the Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku, to retrieve unlicensed weapons from the political class and VIPs. But while some residents are accusing some individuals and politicians of arming criminal gangs for their personal gains, others want the government to allow access to firearms due to the rising insecurity in the country.
His arm, so that if there is attack from any area, he will be able to fire back. Otherwise, they will shoot him. Even when they have the gun armed with them, they are being shot, dispossessed of their arms and all that. So if the arms are not there at all, how do you think it will be? It will be disastrous.
When Nigeria government want to retrieve gun from the street, they have to do it completely. But if they know they can't do it and they want to leave some people to have gun, why some people don't?
Just protecting themselves with that gun, whether license or no license. So the best thing is just leave it.
In the meantime, the Ogun State government is set to enact a law that will pronounce the death penalty on anyone caught engaging in cult activities in the state. Ogun State Governor Dakpo Abiodun made this known yesterday, warning that the government will not fold its arms and watch hoodlums run riots in any parts of the state. Moving on, the ongoing recruitment exercise by the Rivers State Civil Service Commission is being criticized as lacking transparency. While speaking at a press conference, Chairman of the Rivers Indigenous NGOs and Civil Society Network, Tobari Dumka-Kote, accused the Commission of politicizing the recruitment process and denying qualified indigents of Rivers State the opportunity to be employed based on merit.
The chairman of the commission and members of the commission have politicized the process and by this way denying qualified river indigents the opportunity to be part of the employment that is currently going on in the state. The way the recruitment exercise is being carried out will further make the public service vulnerable to unqualified persons who may find their way into the system and further worsen the state of public service in the state.
Well, Mr. Dumka-Kote advised that human resource professionals be engaged for a credible exercise. Well, the group also demanded the publication of names of successful candidates from the Commission's earlier online tests.
This pre-physical interview test conducted by the Commission online before this time afforded Rivers people the opportunity to participate in the process. People were happy that the high rate of unemployment in the state was going to be addressed. And we are also demanding that the names of those that passed that test should be published online on local and national dailies for all to have equal access than for the Commission to select those to send message.
Well, the group further issued a 24-hour ultimatum for the suspension of the recruitment exercise if the text message invite approach for the physical interview is not addressed. As you may know, the Rivers State Civil Service Commission on Monday started the physical interview and documentation of successful candidates for the 2023 Rivers State Government recruitment exercise. In another development, parents of public school children in Rivers State are expressing their frustration over the financial burden they are facing before their children begin new classes this academic session. Some of them, who spoke to correspondent Martha Okerenkem, said they are paying between 20,000 naira and 30,000 naira for items such as uniforms and notebooks, amongst others. Now, they describe the money being paid as registration fees.
The SS2, I paid 30,000 naira. I don't know whether it's for logistics. They are supposed to be given uniform. For the junior secondary, we bought their books, but the senior one, they said they will give us.
I went to government girls secondary school, Romokuta, on Friday. And when I got in there, the lady said we were to pay 24,500. She said it's admission fee. And I said, what is contained in the admission fee? So she said it's school uniform.
The one in SS2, I paid 30,000. The one in GSS2, I paid 20,000. The one in GSS3, I paid 25,000.
I came yesterday to register my daughter. I couldn't register her because I was with 15,000. Meanwhile, they told me that it's 30,000, so I have to go back. This is a Okoronodo Roma Hall.
Well, reacting to this, the chairman, Parents Teachers Association, PTA, at Community Secondary School, Okoronodo, Enya Friday, said a meeting was held in June where parents agreed to pay up to 30,000 naira for items including school uniforms, sweaters, berets, notebooks, sportswear, and labor wares. Well, he claimed that the money parents are paying for new students is not for registration or admission.
The resolution was that both school uniform, both labor wear, school shoe, and those things were itemized. This money they are paying is not for admission. They are buying all this, even up to a size book, shoes. They are giving them at the point of admission. If you cannot meet up, why not meet either principal or whoever to say, please, I cannot meet up. Did you go there and say, I will buy only school uniform? And they said you must finish buying the other ones. The answer is no. It's not by force. They are not charging 10 kobo for admission.
Also, a senior member of staff at Rumokuta Girls Secondary School told our correspondents that the only money students are authorized to pay is PTA levy of 1,500 naira. Meanwhile, Femi Ojingwa, the contractor in charge of supplying school uniforms to Rumokuta Girls Secondary School, Community Secondary School, Rumeme, and other public schools in the state, say that parents are only forced uniforms to ensure dress uniformity in order to stop hoodlums from gaining entrance into schools. Recall that the Rivers State Commissioner for Education, Chinedu Mom, recently clarified that basic education in the state remains free, warning that no school has been authorized to collect registration fees.
We are giving them school uniforms for 4 pairs of different uniforms, and that is how the money is paid. And as soon as they pay, give them uniform. It's not the school. The uniform is 18,000 naira just for uniformity. Because if you allow them, some of the girls now wise, they will sew body hole. They can't raise their leg up. The boys will sew 3/4. The boys will sew low waist. But this one now, as soon as we wear them, we'll put long zip so that they must put the trouser accordingly. Because this makes some hoodlums to penetrate to the school if there is no check of uniformity.
Still to come, NIDCOM petitions Egypt's Air, seeks probe into death of Nigerian passenger. Stay tuned.
Stay on track with Nigeria Info.
And PFN, the Stone Bishops.
Talking about Mourinho and AS Roma, Paulo Dybala joined forces with Mourinho.
To give judgments on the petition challenging the election of Abba Yusuf as the governor of the state. Security measures have been intensified in and around the court premises. The APC in the state wants the NNPP's victory to be nullified, citing violations of the Electoral Act of 2022. A U.S. district court has granted the request filed by the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar seeking the release of President Bola Tinubu's academic records by the Chicago State University. A U.S. magistrate, Judge Jeffrey Gilbert, gave the ruling on petition in order to attain prosperity through democratic ideals. President Tinubu spoke to other heads of government hours after similar addresses, including those of U.S. President Joe Biden and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky at the United Nations General Assembly earlier today.
What we seek is an equal, firm commitment to partnership. We seek to be neither appendage nor patron. We do not wish to replace old shackles with new ones. Instead, we hope to walk the rich African soil and live under the magnificent African sky, free of the wrongs of the past and clear of the associated encumbrances. We desire prosperous, democratic living space for our people.
The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has written to management of Egypt Air demanding probe into the death of Ms. Remilekun Toyosi Meshioye, who died aboard the airline on the 4th of September. In the letter, Mrs. Dabiri-Erewa demanded for full disclosure that led to the sudden death of Ms. Remilekun Toyosi aboard Egypt Air. And in business, the World Bank says the coup d'etat in Niger may put additional pressure on Nigeria and other West African nations' food markets. The bank said this in its September food security update. It said that between June and August, 42.5 million people in Nigeria and other West African countries were in a food crisis or worse. In entertainment, Grammy Award winner Burna Boy has postponed a live concert scheduled for this weekend in Johannesburg, South Africa. The event ticketing agency said the show was delayed because of a lack of ticket sales, among other reasons. But Burna Boy's management company, Spaceship, blamed the concert's promoters for not fulfilling their contractual, financial, production, and technical obligations and say they must ensure that ticket holders are fully refunded. And in sports, Spanish Secretary of State for Sports Victor Francos says most of the Spain women's team have agreed to end their boycott. The agreement was reached this morning. The players began the boycott after then Spanish football president Luis Rubiales kissed forward Jenny Hermoso following Spain's triumph over England in the Women's World Cup final last month.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
A proposed anti-gay bill in Kenya wants gays and lesbians jailed for 50 years for non-consensual sex. The bill, known as the Family Protection Bill 2023, is recommending a ban on homosexuality, same-sex unions, and any LGBTQ plus activities and campaigns. It also seeks to prohibit gay parades, assemblies, and marches on streets and cross-dressing in public. Well, owners of premises used for same-sex relations will pay a fine of $14,000 or face a jail term of 7 years if the bill goes through. Well, that's the news this afternoon. But before we go, let's take a look at the recap. On the news this afternoon, you heard that some Port Harcourt residents are asking the Rivers State Police Commissioner to name the officer who killed a father of 3 at Lafaro, Peterside. The police have killed 4 members of the gang wanted for the killing of the Aoda DPO SP Bako Angbashim. A civil society group is calling for the suspension of the recruitment into the Rivers State Civil Service. The Ogun State government says it will enact a law pronouncing death penalty on cultists. A U.S. court has ordered the release of President Tinubu's academic records. And there is heavy security as the Kano State Governorship Election Tribunal is set to deliver judgment. On the foreign scene, you heard that Kenya's anti-gay bill proposes a 50-year jail term to offenders. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good afternoon.